Hi, welcome everybody. This is the fifth edition of Binoculars, a small platform, an online conversation platform of the ADI chapter in Kochi. So some of you I see, I can see Niharika. Some of you are from outside the state. So this time we're going to do something which might be a little jarring initially for you. Uh, we're going to speak a little bit in Malayalam and English. Uh, don't run away because it's a mix and we're talking about design. I think it wouldn't be a big problem, but we'd like to explore how it would be if we use a little bit of vernacular also. So ADI, the binoculars format, when we started it, the first format for whoever is here who's sort of viewed it from the beginning. The first edition was one where two people from different perspectives, two designers from different perspectives, talk about the same topic. So that was the idea of binoculars. So, but you see, you have stereo vision where you see two different perspectives, but hopefully they converge. But then over time, that format evolved a little bit. So now we don't have two people sharing experiences. We have one person talking to the other. So that's as far as the ADI, the binoculars format goes. So what we had chosen to do at that point when we started this was the sort of premise for the session was that there are so many platforms where you get to see beautiful work done by designers. There are many portfolio presentations in all the design conferences, so on and so forth. But the slightly messy side of design practice. Uh, so if you people who have been logging in from the beginning would remember that the first edition was about failures, and so on. Later we had a session about who owns work, about copyright. So these are things about which these are concerns that we have as people working in design, but we often don't get to talk about it as much as we would like to. So the platform Binoculars was meant to be a place where we could come and talk about the sort of rubber hits the road aspects of design, the lows, the highs, the challenges, and so forth. We decided to do a series of 6. We are on the 5th. We have one more in the series, and then we'll take stock. And all of you could let us know if you'd like to see the format continuing, in what manner, etc. For those who are completely new to Binoculars and ADI, ADI is the Association of Designers of India. It is a non-profit body which does exactly what the name suggests. It is an association of designers in the country across different city-based chapters. Unlike some of the other design associations which are discipline specific, say architecture, interior, landscape, and so on, ADI is a body which brings together all manner of designers. And we have a chapter in Cochin, which is, I think, just about a year old now, or just short of a year. Little pitch, if any of you who's practicing broadly in the greater Kochi area, or even I am a member and I live in Palakkad, which is not in Kochi. So anyone who's interested in the cause of designers coming together and making common cause of the things that make the practice work for us, or sometimes the barriers that kind of get in the way, welcome to join the group. So that is as far as ADI goes. Today's conversation, we have two people who are sort of naturally slightly shy, is my sense of it, of which one is very consciously shy and the other has gone a little further in that journey of becoming less shy. So Azhar, this is the first time he's coming on screen and doing something like this. Full credit to Vanessa, who so far has been anchoring this session. Vanessa kind of urged him and gave him confidence to come and do it. So everyone, let's sort of make it a really good experience for Azhar, so that we get to get him to do this more frequently. Azhar is a designer based in Fort Cochin. Azhar specializes in calligraphy, and he will be talking to Latheesh Lakshman, who is one of the stars of our community. Latheesh is from northern Kerala. For those within the state, he's from the north of Kannur, so almost verging Kasargod. Latheesh came from that area at a time when we didn't have design schools. Design was a new discipline, so on and so forth. He trained in a government art institution, went on to Bangalore, and from then on, he's had a remarkable career. He's worked with some of the finest initially advertising agencies, which included Ogilvy, Wyden and Kennedy, and so forth. Later, he went on to sort of brand design, where in the Middle East he worked, I believe, with Wolf Olins. Later, Latheesh has worked with IKEA in London. And in the past few years, he's back in Kerala. We're all grateful for that. And he works on a range of design projects, brand design projects, which includes a substantial number of projects which are for public causes, for the government. Most famously, all of you would recognize the very distinctive identity of the Kochi Muziris Biennale, and also the visual language of the Kochi Muziris Biennale. That is Latheesh's work. Those of us within the state would also have noticed the sea change in the way the Kerala Lalit Kala Academy outreach has been. The posters, the social media material, etc., for the galleries. It used to be fuddy-duddy. It used to be not as nice as we would have wished it to be. Over the last 1 year, a new chairman, who's also one of our friends, Murli, and Latheesh, have turned that around. And now the way the academy speaks is very modern, very sophisticated, refined, and that is a project that also I think many of you would have noticed. There are many more, and Latheesh will talk about it during the course of this conversation. So welcome to both Azhar and Latheesh to the conversation. So as I said, a reminder, these guys will be talking a little bit in Malayalam, a little bit in English. That is by design. But then the language of visual designers is visual. So that shouldn't be a barrier. So Azhar, I'm just going to start with you. Latheesh ne Adim Latheeshinte either work. What do you remember having seen? What drew you to? I know you're a little bit of a fan of Latheesh's work.
Yeah, Latheesh ചേട്ടന്റെ ടൈപ്പോഗ്രാഫീസ് എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടം. ലൈക്ക് കുറെ
Ah,
ലൈക്ക് കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടേണ്ട അങ്ങനത്തെ ലൈക്ക് കമ്പനിയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അതെല്ലാം കണ്ടിട്ട് ഞാൻ കുറെ ലൈക്ക് മിമിക് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ നോക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ലതീഷ് ചേട്ടന്റെ ലോഗോസും എല്ലാം ഭയങ്കര ഇൻസ്പയറിംഗ് ആയിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്ത 2 ലോഗോസാണ് ഞാനിപ്പോ, എനിക്കൊരു എറു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടൊരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ ലോഗോ തന്നെ നമ്മളുടെ മലയാളത്തിലെ 7ാമത്തെ അക്ഷരം, വെൽ ബാലൻസ് ലെറ്റർ. അപ്പോ നമ്മൾ അതിൽ ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യണം എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മെന്റൽ ആൻഡ് ഫിസിക്കൽ ബാലൻസ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് തോന്നി ആ ലെറ്റർ ഭയങ്കര അതിന് ആപ്റ്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ സാധനത്തിലോട്ട് പോകാനാണെങ്കിലും എനിക്ക് ഇൻസ്പയർഡ് ആയത് ലതീഷ് ചേട്ടന്റെ വർക്ക്സ് ആണ്.
Okay, when I did the intro, I sort of left out a critical third part of Latheesh's career, which started in advertising, then moved on to brand design. But the most recent phase of Latheesh's work is as a contemporary artist. His work is exhibited in a number of galleries around the country, perhaps abroad also, I don't know. His work can also be found in the ongoing Kochi Muziris Biennale. So that, in a sense, is the third phase of his career. And that is what we were trying to sort of pun in the title of the talk, Art Direct, because he started as an art director, and now, of course, he has a career as a contemporary artist. So all of that, Azhar, തുടങ്ങ്.
Yes. So Latheesh ചേട്ടാ, hi.
Thank you. Before we start, I really want to thank to Arun for the introduction. You covered everything. I mean, I don't need to. I just need to get into the detail at the moment now. I mean, you kind of covered everything, but yeah, thank you so much for that, and yeah, thank you so much for ADI.
Most welcome.
ലതീഷേട്ടന്റെ കരിയറിന്റെ തുടക്കം എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു? ലൈക്
Sorry, say that again.
ലൈക് കരിയറിന്റെ തുടക്കം എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു? എപ്പോഴാണ് ലൈക് തീരുമാനിച്ചത് ലൈക് ഞാൻ ഡിസൈൻ തന്നെയാണ് ലൈക് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്?
Okay. So, see, I born in a very traditional Vishwakarma family, like we goldsmith family. Like everyone into crafting. They all do like jewelry design and stuff like that. So, എൻ്റെ ബ്ലഡിൽ ഈ ക്രാഫ്റ്റ്മാൻഷിപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്. അതെൻ്റെ ഒരു ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫ്രം ദ ഫാമിലി, ലൈക്ക് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫ്രം ഫാമിലി പ്രാക്ടീസ്. Plus the background, the place where I born, kore folk dance, തെയ്യം, all these rituals, like full of colors and shapes and patterns and a lot of stuff. So someone who want to do something in art, he cannot go wrong. That's the entire platform is, അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്താണ്. So, and of course, like, I started drawing from my childhood, and I never know there is a course for design or art in Kerala. It's my drawing teacher. He told me, after my schooling, he told me, you have to go to College of Fine Arts where you study art. And that's something like, I felt so glad, not because of I want to go there. I'm very bad at studying. I don't know what else to do. Like, I cannot do commerce or anything. Then this is something like, I don't need to do anything. I just do what I like. So I kind of, I tried College of Baroda, Trivandrum, and just because the language barriers and stuff like that, I ended up College of Fine Arts in Trivandrum. But saying that, in meanwhile, like while I was growing, I keep seeing advertising on TV channels, like, between all those stuff. Then I don't know, I felt like, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do this. Then is there any place I should go and learn this? I always love the advertising, not the film or any other programs. I love the in-between, that small little advertising. It's because it's a short time span. You talk about ideas and, fun stuff, like, anything interesting. They make everything interesting. So I really want to get into advertising that moment, but I don't know how. But after joining College of Fine Arts, I realized, okay, this is how it goes. This is the route. I didn't miss, I am on the right track. Then unfortunately, I didn't do painting or sculpture. I went to applied art. I chose applied art because I was always looking for at the end of the day, I need a job. So becoming a painter and a sculptor is going to be a kind of, I'm not really sure about that. There is a little scary kind of thing going on. But, later I reached a point, like, I realized, okay, I'm a fine artist. It's not just, painting or sculpture is not the kind of barrier. There is nothing like that. Anything you do, you practice, whether any medium, it's an artist. So now, from advertising to branding to painting, as an artist, I'm an artist now. But even advertising or branding is again, for me, it's a art practice. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So like college കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ആദ്യത്തെ like ജോലി എവിടെയായിരുന്നു ലതീഷേട്ടൻ ജോലി?
കോളേജിൽ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ താല്പര്യം എനിക്ക് ആനിമേഷൻ ചെയ്യണമെന്നായിരുന്നു. ആ സമയത്താണ് ചാനൽ വി, MTV ഒക്കെ ദേ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ്, they are in India, and അവർ കുറെ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഗ്രാഫിക്സ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആനിമേഷൻസ് കാണാൻ തുടങ്ങിയത്. Then I really want to do things like that. പക്ഷേ കോളേജ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ ആനിമേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് I walked around all those possible animation companies. I went to Bangalore and I went to this company called, I forgot the name, one of the big animation company. Then I realized, I saw it's a labor kind of thing. Everybody's sitting and drawing, which is already given to them, and they're not doing anything by themselves. There is no contribution from our end. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇത് വന്നപ്പോൾ I felt, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a person like, എനിക്ക് സ്വന്തമായിട്ടുള്ള എൻ്റെ ഒരു way of drawing and way of thinking, and I'm not able to, I won't be able to do anything here. അങ്ങനെ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴാണ് then I met one of my very senior who works with Ogilvy and Mather, B. Haridas, like one of the most amazing person I ever met in advertising. So I met him, then he saw my work, and so my portfolio is like full of illustrations and, kind of slightly unusual from other portfolio. So he thought, that's what I think. He thought like, there is something kind of unusual thing on him. So I didn't join because I'm just came out from the college. So I joined as a trainee in advertising. But advertising was never my kind of thing. That wasn't my dream. But because I am in Bangalore, I want to stay away from home. I want to start practicing on something where what I studied. അങ്ങനെ അഡ്വർടൈസിംഗിൽ കയറി. പക്ഷേ my way of thinking and my way of doing things never stopped there actually. I was still doing advertising the way I want. It's not എന്താ പറയുക, നമ്മൾ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് കാണുന്ന ഒരു അഡ്വർടൈസിങ് ലാംഗ്വേജിൽ ചെയ്യണം ഒരു ആംഗിൾ അതിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. ദാറ്റ്സ് ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് ഗായ് ബി ഹരിദാസ്. ഹി നെവർ taught us advertising. He taught us how to think നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ ക്യാരക്ടറിൽ, നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ തോട്ട് പ്രോസസ്സിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ഐഡിയ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്നുള്ളൊരു പ്രാക്ടീസ് ഹാപ്പൻ ജസ്റ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ഹിം. സോ അങ്ങനെയാണ് എൻ്റെ അഡ്വർടൈസിങ് കരിയർ തുടങ്ങുന്നത്. ഐ സ്പെൻഡ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് 4 years in Ogilvy, then became an advertising person. But that wasn't enough for me. I want to move on from advertising. I always want to get into publication just because I want to do illustrations. So, വരയ്ക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്, I want to draw. I kept on doing, I want to physically draw, which is, hardly happens in advertising.
Yeah.
It's always about ideas and teamwork and, strategies and stuff like that, which is kind of, it will function without me as well.
പിന്നെ ലതീഷ് ഏട്ടാ,
So,
കേരളത്തിൽ
yeah, I've been thinking about, yeah.
പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ ഈ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പുറത്തൊരു സ്ഥലത്തോട്ട് പോകുമ്പോൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ ഒരു ബാരിയർ ആയിട്ട്
It's
തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ട്.
always a big barrier. ഇപ്പോഴും barrier ആണ്. എനിക്ക് ലാംഗ്വേജ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, because the thing is like, it's not because of the scare of the language, because we always, I born in Payyanur. It's a very small village in north of Kerala. I've been thinking in Malayalam. We don't think in English because we never practiced that in life. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത് മലയാളത്തിലേക്ക്, when we talk, we think in Malayalam and process into English and translate. It takes a little extra time. And vocabulary is a big thing. Like, we don't practice vocabulary. Like, even college, we study everything in English, but we don't talk. So there is a very little chance, we just know the very basics of English, but we don't. Well, that slightly changed because I moved to London for a short while. So there is no other choice. Like, of course, we'll end up talking English. So language barrier ഉണ്ട്, ഇപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട്, പലപ്പോഴും ഉണ്ട്. ചില സമയത്ത് there is no issue. You just go with the flow. Sometimes you still have that kind of ഒരു ചെറിയ fear ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ since it's a creative industry, since it's an open kind of, you have a freedom to think anything, and language shouldn't be a barrier. But language is a barrier at the same time. But after a point, somehow you find out a way. Like, now what's happening now, ഞാൻ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതും ഇതൊരു പ്രാക്ടീസിന്റെ പുറത്ത്, there is no preparation. It just happened because there is no other choice for me. So yeah.
പിന്നെ എനിക്കൊരു കാര്യം ചോദിക്കണം. ലതീഷ് പല സ്ഥലത്ത് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ലണ്ടനിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു, മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു, ലൈക്ക് കേരളത്തിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. എവിടെ നിന്നാണ് കൂടുതൽ ലതീഷേട്ടന് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട രീതിയിലുള്ള വർക്ക്സ് കൂടുതൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നതും കൂടുതൽ അറിവുകൾ നേടാൻ പറ്റുന്നതും അത് എവിടെ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തപ്പോഴായിരുന്നു?
Yeah, to be very, ഇപ്പൊ കേരളത്തിൽ വന്നിട്ടാണ് I'm so hello hello is that okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Azhar?
Yes.
കേൾക്കാം. Okay. So കേരളത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ് actually I'm finding joy in my work. That doesn't mean like I don't like other places. You know, every new places is interesting because you know I don't think I should compare. കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നാണ് എൻ്റെ ഡിസൈൻ നോളജിൻ്റെ the background is the kind of ഒരു പരിധിവരെ ലേണിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വിഷ്വൽസും കളേഴ്സും ഇതെല്ലാം നടന്നിട്ടുള്ളത് എൻ്റെ ചൈൽഡ്ഹുഡിലാണ്. That's the foundation. Then I moved to Bangalore. That made me slightly more you know
I don't think, I don't know.
Latheesh, there is a little problem with your sound.
I interact with other people and all right, one second. Let me just.
So while Latheesh sort of relogs in or whatever he's trying to fix, however he's trying to fix it, I am just reminded when I met him for the first time, or one of the early times when I met him, he had a very nice anecdote about this little English thing that many people going out of Kerala face in the first part of their career. So he said that there was this advertising agency where he was working, where during briefings, there was so much that he wanted to say, but he didn't have the words to sort of say it. And it was frustrating early on. But then he devised a solution where he'd have these little pieces of paper, and he had a copy partner. So he would, as the briefing sessions go on, he would sort of sketch what he wanted to say, and he would give it to the copy partner, who in turn would sort of share it with the wider group.
Yeah.
So he sort of made a meta language, as it were. So it's a very beautiful story.
Yeah.
You're back, Latheesh. Hi.
Yeah. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So എവിടെയാണ് ഫേവറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സ്പേസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്? So every space has given me a different experience, and every experience is so
voice is breaking. That is better.
ഇതെല്ലാം ചെയ്യുന്നത് എൻ്റെ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷനിലാണ്. സോ UK ലണ്ടനിൽ
Latheesh,
ലതീഷേട്ടാ വോയിസ് ബ്രേക്ക് ആവുന്നുണ്ട്.
Is that better now?
Yeah. Have you changed your internet? Do you have a different connection?
Sorry about that. Just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
I think switching off the video might help for now.
Okay. Azhar, ഒരു headline പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ, ലതീഷിന്റെ ഒരു headline that you liked, that kind of gave you opened a new set of possibilities. എന്തോ ഒരു headline പറഞ്ഞത് എന്തായിരുന്നു?
കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടണ്ട.
Love a little less hard.
Yeah.
Hey, you're back.
Yeah. So is it better now? I think it's good.
Better.
Now it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about where I really liked working. Very honestly, of course, as I said, every place has gave me a different possibilities. But കേരളത്തിൽ വന്നിട്ടാണ് I really started enjoying all the experience I had. The reason because looking at Bangalore is already kind of metro city. Like everything is updated. Moving to London is like one of the when it comes to design or art, it's like one of the strong, amazing city. പക്ഷേ കേരളത്തിൽ വന്നിട്ട് ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മൾ when we back to Kerala, we see a lot of opportunity where to make betterness. എവിടൊക്കെയാണ് നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ വാല്യൂ അഡിഷൻ, ഹൗ ടു മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ലിറ്റിൽ മോർ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ്, ഹൗ ടു ആഡ് വാല്യൂ ടു തിങ്സ്, അതിനുള്ള സാധ്യതകൾ കാണുന്നത് കേരളത്തിൽ വന്നിട്ടാണ്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ചെയ്യുന്ന വർക്കുകളിലൊക്കെ വിസിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ചേഞ്ച് വരാനുള്ള റീസണും അത് തന്നെയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് ദർ ഇസ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ടു ഈച്ച് ആൻഡ് എവറിഥിങ്, ആൻഡ് വി ഹാർഡ്ലി focus on that. We are looking at other things, but we don't really make it look good. We are not aesthetically എന്താ പറയാ, functionally not making it right. സോ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള സാധനം ഇപ്പോൾ കൊച്ചി ബിനാലെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതിൻ്റെ ബ്രാൻഡിങ്, കൊച്ചി ബിനാലയുടെ ബ്രാൻഡിങ് സ്ട്രോങ് അല്ലെങ്കിലും കൊച്ചി ബിനാലെ വിൽ വർക്ക് ഔട്ട് because it's a very important entity supposed to happen. But what a design can do is make it more functionally right, make it more pleasing, make it more the combination make it more right. അതിന് സൊഫിസ്റ്റിക്കേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഡിസൈനിന്റെ ആവശ്യം വളരെ സ്ട്രോങ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് not just Biennale, any things happens in not in Kerala, like not only in Kerala, other places as well, so അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സാധ്യത ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് that keeps me busy, that makes me more young in terms of designer. So I love doing things in Kerala because a lot of things you can explore. Yeah.
So ബിനാലെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ലതീഷ് ഷെട്ടിലോട്ട് എത്തുന്നത്? ലൈക്ക് ഐ നോ ലൈക്ക് ബിനാലയുടെ തുടക്കം മുതൽ ഈ ഒരു എഡിഷൻ വരെ ലതീഷ് ഷെട്ടൻ ലൈക്ക് ബിനാലയിലുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ സ്റ്റോറി
ബിനാലെ നടക്കുന്നത്, this Biennale discussion and the initial kind of ideas and everything is cracked when that happened just soon after I came back from UK, London. So അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇനീഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റേജിലുള്ള ഡിസ്കഷനും ഡിസൈൻ ലാംഗ്വേജ് ഒക്കെ ഒരു തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ബട്ട് നത്തിങ് ഹാസ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഡിസൈഡഡ് യെറ്റ്. സോ ഞാനും ഐ നെവർ ഹേർഡ് അബൌട്ട് ബിനാലെ ടിൽ ദെൻ. എനിക്കും അറിയില്ല എന്താണ് ബിനാലെ ഒന്നും അറിയില്ല. സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ഹാപ്പൻ വെൻ ഐ ബാക്ക് ടു ഡൽഹി. I joined Wade & Kennedy, Delhi.
So ലൈക്ക് ബിനാലയുടെ വർക്ക്സും ആ ഒരു ഇത് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരു ഐഡിയ കിട്ടും.
Yeah, of course. So I think shall I share the works soon after the discussion, so that because I can show the process where I started and how things happened. Yeah. So ബിനാലെ ആ സമയത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഇനീഷ്യൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ്റെ സമയത്താണ് I came back to India. Then V. Sunil, one of the patron, and he is also my ex-boss. He told me, why don't you go and meet Bose and Riaz? Then I think he is the right person to, you are the right person to build Biennale. That's how the first meeting happened. But Biennale's ഒരു strategy from my end was not to refer any other Biennale happened so far. Because the moment you start looking at other Biennale as a reference, you ended up thinking something like that. That is a very toxic thing for a designer, because you don't then you stopped contributing from anything from your end. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് എനിക്ക് ഇതുവരെ പരിചയമില്ലാത്തൊരു എൻറ്റിറ്റിനെ കുറിച്ചിട്ട് ഞാൻ ആലോചിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് എനിക്ക് കൂടുതൽ കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് എക്സാക്ട്ലി ഹാപ്പൻ ഓൺ ദ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇനീഷ്യൽ ബിനാലെ. ലൈക്ക് യു ഗെറ്റ് ടു സീ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇല്ലസ്ട്രേഷൻസ്, ഗ്രാഫിക്സ്, ടൈപ്പോഗ്രഫി stuff happen just because of if I referred Venice Biennale or any other Biennale, I would be just doing a template design for every Biennale communication or whatever it is. But this happened because I didn't look at any other reference. So, and this is my own city, it's Malayalam is my own language, so I know how things works, how to make Malayalam so international. So അതാണ് ബിനാലയിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന എൻ്റെ ഒരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്.
പിന്നെ ലതീഷേട്ടൻ കുറെ ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഏജൻസി ആയിട്ടും ലൈക് ലളിതകലാ അക്കാദമി ലൈക് അങ്ങനെ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസും മിനിസ്ട്രി എല്ലാമായിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് യങ് ഡിസൈനേഴ്സിന് ഒരു അഡ്വൈസ് തരുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഏജൻസി ആയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും ലതീഷേട്ടൻ്റെ അപ്രോച്ച്?
ഇതിൽ അഡ്വൈസ് എന്നുള്ളൊരു ആംഗിൾ അതിനില്ല, ടു ബി വെരി ഓണസ്റ്റ്. I can share my experience because design is very subjective and the relationship between the other person is also very subjective, how you deal with them. എനിക്ക് ഗവൺമെന്റ് പ്രൊജക്ടുകളിൽ താല്പര്യം ഉണ്ടാകാനുള്ള മെയിൻ റീസൺ ആഫ്റ്റർ വർക്കിംഗ് വിത്ത് ലളിതകല അക്കാദമി, that's because of Murali Chiro, the chairman. Because till then, no offense, till before Murali Chiro came into the picture, Kerala Lalidala Academy was an institution. It's not really, I never felt going inside and watching seeing a show or anything, because it's just a government office for me. But after Murali came and we started discussing, because I know him, he's my friend as well. So we started talking and we found the possibilities of what design could do. Because art has moved. Art also, എന്താ പറയുക, നമ്മുടെ ഡിസൈൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പോലെ തന്നെ കണ്ടംപററി ആണ് ആർട്ടും. This is a creative industry, right? So why Kerala Lalidala Academy should look very outdated, and on the other side there is art is like really happening. We should actually fix it, like the design should marry with the entire art show and everything, and design could do a lot of stuff. അങ്ങനെയാണ് slightly we took a slightly more innovative, I won't say innovative, slightly more interesting way of thinking, how we can brand Lalidala Academy. Then I told him, like, there is one line, it's been there in my mind like since like 7 years now, but this is a line, I don't think the government will approve this, but if you give me a chance, I really want to do this as a title, which is കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടേണ്ട. This is എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ഒരു 6-7 വർഷമായിട്ട് എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ ഈ വാക്കുണ്ട്. when I was looking at a place where I want to use this word, and Murali Chiro പറഞ്ഞു, doesn't matter, it's actually looks really cool, and it has got to say a lot to ആ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനായിട്ട് കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറയാനുണ്ട്. The intention for me bringing that title is, till then art is always art show in Lalidala Academy is always around artists and art lovers and their relatives or friends. It's never for public. So when you see a title saying Kashtapettu Ishtapedanna, any Malayali can understand, they will find what is this. It's a word which he can never, or he or she can never ignore. So imagine ഒരു റിക്ഷ ഡ്രൈവർ ഒരു ആർട്ട് ഷോ കാണാൻ വരുന്ന ഒരാളെ ലളിതകല അക്കാദമി കൊണ്ടുവരുമ്പോൾ, the rickshaw driver also should feel, I also want to see this. What is this? അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ബ്രിഡ്ജ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുക എന്നുള്ളതായിരുന്നു ആ ഒരു ബ്രാൻഡിങ്ങിന്റെ ഇനീഷ്യൽ തോട്ട്. And it also sounds slightly negative, but it's not negative. So it's very positive. It's a very serious engagement we are trying to make. കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടേണ്ട, it's like love a little less hard എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, if you look at it's a very global phenomena. Everybody go through that. No one can exit from that word, So, and that word became, I think it's a powerful word for sure. So that became a design device for the entire show. After that, people started noticing what exactly happening in Kerala Lalidala Academy. So this kind of attitude, we want to take it further to any other government organizations or anything to do with government. അങ്ങനെയാണ് I started stepping into other platform like Kerala Lottery, മുഖാമുഖം, കേരളീയം, അതുപോലുള്ള പ്രോജക്റ്റുകളിലൊക്കെ അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു റിഫ്ലക്ഷൻ ആണ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. Because there's another fact, if you look at any government based communication device, advertising or posters or anything, nothing is well designed. There is no any design thinking. There is no any aesthetic understanding behind all the stuff. Since we are here, why, and government is already investing on that, and insane enough money with insane kind of അത്രയും amount, അത്രയും financial investment they are making in different agencies, and they are not doing much effort to make it look good. So I was thinking, like, this is something really interesting, so that people also start seeing interest in things. ഒരു പരിധി ഇപ്പോൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ തന്നെ പോലും ഇമ്മൻസ് ഓഫ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട് ഏത് സ്ഥലത്ത് പോയിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഡിസൈനിൽ കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ. The only thing is, like, it's a challenge actually, because the government system is not done so far. They are not prepared to understand all this stuff. That's the limit actually. But if you are willing to make an effort to make them understand, dude, you are not an old outdated government staff. You can also dress well, you can also look stylish, you can also think like any other international space, then why you limit? അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കുറേ സ്റ്റാൻഡുകൾ എടുത്തതിൻ്റെ റിസൾട്ട് കുറച്ച് ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂഷൻസിലുണ്ടായിട്ട് നോട്ട് എവരി വൺ, ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ബിഗ് ചാലഞ്ച്. ഇറ്റ്സ് സ്റ്റിൽ ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് എൻ ഈസി ടാസ്ക്, ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ഒരു ദ ലക്ക്. എന്നെ സംബന്ധിച്ചുള്ള ലക്ക് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, the people I used to work with, the directors or whoever, very few people they are very open to do this, but not the system. So അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ചാലഞ്ച് ഉണ്ട്. But we cannot blame the system, because that's been happening for a long time. Yeah.
പിന്നെ ലതീഷേട്ടന്റെ ലൈക് ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് ഫ്രഷ് ആക്കി വെക്കാൻ ലൈക് എന്ത് എക്സസൈസസ് ആണ് ലതീഷേട്ടൻ ലൈക് ചെയ്യാറ് ലൈക് നോർമലി? സോ അതർ ദാൻ വർക്ക് ലൈക് ഫ്രീ ടൈമിലാണെങ്കിലും ലൈക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ലതീഷേട്ടന്റെ പ്രോ?
No, I sketch a lot. I do scribble a lot. That's something keep me, I don't, I feel like I'm not, how do you say that? Other than that, apart from scribble, I don't do much. I just hang out with friends, and I just, talk a lot, get into debates with other designer friends. Unnecessarily, I make debates. I oppose it just to, keep the discussion, continue. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കുറച്ച് പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. Then I see a lot of people's work. I hardly read. I don't read actually, to be very honest. But I go through a lot of books which has got a lot of pictures and images, designs, and typography. Nothing specific, like there is no any kind of specific practice I do, but I do sketch a lot. Yeah.
നമുക്ക് ലൈക് പ്രസന്റേഷനിലോട്ട് പോവാമെന്നോ?
Yeah.
We can see the works.
Yeah. So hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
So this is a title, How Art You? I was working with Latheesh Academy. This is something, kind of a word which kind of defined as a design, and I was using on a lot of things. And now I started using as my title for every, art discussion or whatever. Okay, coming. So this is a kind of little history about me. I started in advertising in Bangalore, Ogilvy. Then I moved to IKEA, London. Soon after that, I kind of worked for a very short time in London, Varian Kennedy, as a project in different projects. Then I have to come back. Then I joined Varian Kennedy, Delhi. Soon after that, I kind of moved to DDB Mudra. then the Kochi Muslims Binale happened. I kind of joined and started. This is actually a kind of a big break for me, because till then I was always with advertising and things like that. Binale sheshamana, I started thinking I'm an artist. I'm not just a designer. I'm not just an advertising guy. I'm also an artist. After Kochi Biennale Musris branding project, I got an opportunity to work with Wolfowitz, one of the best branding agency across the world. So I had a short time with Wolfowitz, where I kind of understood how branding works, how the branding strategy works. After that, I was just doing my own thing. I came back. Okay. Yeah. So this is one of my first work with Ogilvy and Mather. It's in 2004. There's nothing kind of my own language. It's just a watch, and but the only thing what I did is trying to cut down all the lines or load of words. Just the title itself is a the name of the watch itself is a title. So you don't need any explanation, like unless like any other advertising. നമ്മൾ കാണുന്നത് പോലെ വേറെ ഒരു എക്സ്പ്ലനേഷനോ ഇതാണ് വാച്ച് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു ഡീറ്റെയിൽസും ഇല്ല, ജസ്റ്റ് ദ ടൈറ്റിൽ ആൻഡ് ദ വാച്ച്. സോ ദിസ് വൺ ഓഫ് മൈ ഫസ്റ്റ് campaign. But after that I started, this campaign, Electrolux campaign, this won Cannes silver in 2011. This happened in Mudra. ഈ ഒരു പീരീഡിലാണ് ഐ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് സ്പെൻഡിങ് മോർ ടൈം ഡെവലപ്പിംഗ് ഹാൻഡ് ഡ്രോൺ illustration or images for campaigns. Then I hardly look for shoot or any kind of those kind of images. Like I kind of always try to identify my own languages, like as a graphic designer or an illustrator or an artist. So ഇതിന് ശേഷം I started realizing advertising is an also kind of, you can bring your own language. It's something like a signature kind of style you can bring in. ഇതെനിക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടി സ്റ്റുഡൻസിനോടൊക്കെ പറയാൻ എനിക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടി താല്പര്യമുള്ള ഒരു ഏരിയ ആണ്. You don't need to follow anybody's kind of style. I mean, you don't need to do something like that because you like that, because you don't really need for that, because it's already done. Since you are doing something, why don't you bring your own language? Why don't you bring your own idea of explaining something through an image or through the word, or it doesn't matter however it is, but it should have your signature so that it belongs to you. So adini shesham, this happened in London. I did a campaign for London Transport. It's a very A for Apple kind of thing. This is specifically for London buses. ലണ്ടൻ ബസ്സസിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ കാണുന്ന എന്താണ് ബെനിഫിറ്റ്? ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി സ്റ്റുപ്പിഡ് ഐഡിയ. You don't benefit anything, you just travel. But I'm just making up a story. Like when you're in a bus, you see more than you see in a car. It's like a kind of children's book sort of thing. Then when you're in a bus, when you compare with the underground, you don't see anything underground. So you see more in London buses. So it's a comparison with other transport. So advertising, I all the advertising which I did is I don't think worth sharing, because it's a very typical advertising. Now moving on to the branding, I was working with Wade & Kennedy. This is one of the client I work with. Indigo, അതിൻ്റെ ലാംഗ്വേജിൽ നമുക്ക് എന്താണ്, what kind of contribution you can make. It's a very strong brand, like when it comes to design practice. If you look at any brand in India, like Indigo is one of very strong, well-designed brand, and the entire credit goes to V. Sunil, the creative director of Wade & Kennedy that time. So he came up with this idea of blue and this strong identical font. But we all shared our contributions. So this is one of the contribution which I made into the brand. So a few packagings and few campaigns. I'm not putting all the works. I just put very few work which we have very little time. So coming to Kochi Mysore Biennale. So the branding. So I have come up with this line, art needs you need art, which became one of very iconic thing for Kochi Biennale. This in 2014. We did a strong campaign, not too much ideas, just fact. The whole idea was how to make it very minimal, less complicated, how to communicate as soon as, without taking much time with others, right? So if you look at every design for Biennale is very minimal that time. So the initial launch campaign was this India's first Biennale. What else you can see? Like that's the best thing for a Biennale, because this Biennale word itself is very new to India and Kerala especially, right? So when we launch, I think this is the best thing we can communicate with public. And I love publication, working on books, designing books. So I have worked on a lot of publication design. And these are the posters throughout the initial Biennale. The catalog for 2016, I guess. Yeah, 2016. There's a branding done for the Museum of Ramachandran, which ഈയിടെ കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം ഇനാഗുറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത പ്രൊജക്റ്റാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ ഒരു ബ്രാൻഡിങ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇതിലൊരു quirkiness എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, I always try to find some quirkiness in everything I do. It happens most of the time, but not every time. അപ്പോൾ ഈ മ്യൂസിയം ഓഫ് രാമചന്ദ്രൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന വാക്കിൽ തന്നെ I found this word maram in Malayalam is tree. And Ramachandran's painting ഈ മരം plant leaf എപ്പോഴും ഒരു വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള, that's work is all about, like പുള്ളിയുടെ വർക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഡെക്കറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. And I found this very interesting tree. It has got a very interesting shape. So that became the brand identity. And there are a lot of very interesting thing he done. Ella painting in the tare, almost like a signature, he has got this character. He
voice break ആവുന്നുണ്ട്.
ലതീഷ്, രണ്ട് കാര്യം. ലതീഷ്
ഐഡന്റിഫൈ രീതിയിൽ നേച്ചർ എപ്പോഴും ചെയ്യണം.
ലതീഷ്, hi, sorry for interrupting. ഒന്ന് ലതീഷിന്റെ വോയിസ് ബ്രേക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. 1:50 ആയി. Can we now probably stop and take a few questions, or do you?
Yes.
Yeah. Azhar, there is already a question in the chat box. Do you want?
Yeah.
Sorry for butting. It's all fantastic work.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So what is the question?
Okay, Azhar, the question is from Shailesh. Latheesh, Shailesh's question is, can you explain the thought process behind the Biennale identity?
Okay, Biennale identity thought process, there is a different angle in the. I mean, if you look at the Kochi Chinese net, the top angle, that's the shape. That's how the Chinese net is. Also, it defines there are so many things coming into one place. It's that's the basic thought, which is happened beyond. I mean, before I came in. So, but that's the idea behind the story, the logo. Yeah.
If anyone else has questions, you can either sort of unmute yourself and ask, or type it in the chat box. Latheesh, I have one question. Are you here?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So one question while somebody else kind of sends another question. My question is about this lovely logo that you designed. I don't know. I guess it can be called the Kerala equivalent of the Make in India logo. You had done that Nanma mark, which I'm going to pop into the chat box for people who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
so this was meant to be a mark that goes into products made in Kerala, is it? How did that project happen?
That's for the.
What happened to that project after that? We didn't see that.
Okay, I think I'll. Okay, this happened because after the Keralium project, the department itself, the Vyavasaya Vakup department, they came to me and said, "Oh, they have this something going on. They have They have a plan to introduce a new range of brands which has a hygienic facts, some കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ വെച്ചിട്ട് they want to launch a premium segment of products. So they want a title or logo for that. അങ്ങനെ അവരാണ് എൻ്റെ അടുത്തേക്ക് വന്നത്. So we had a long chat, and the Nanma idea came. I introduced to them because Nanma as a logo is almost like a trap for the brands. So once you have the identity of Nanma, they cannot do anything unethical or നന്മയില്ലാതെ ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. So that's the story behind the logo. Logo അങ്ങനെയും ഒരു ആംഗിൾ ഉണ്ട്. It can also be a trap.
Right. Other, what happened to that project? I thought that you did it about almost 2 years back. No, we thought it would come in many projects.
Yeah. It's still happening, but that gone to some agency. I don't know what's happening now. Yeah.
This another question, which is whether you write your own copy. All these lines that you mentioned
it's been 2 years now, yes, but that gone to some aging after that. This is the problem actually. Yeah, is any more question?
Yeah, Latheesh, so you froze for a moment. So there's one more question, which is whether you write your own copy. All these kind of very witty lines that that we find in your work, is that written by you or?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you say it's unfortunate?
I mean, it's hard to it's hard to explain. You cannot explain. These are not lines. These are actually thoughts. This cannot be translated through another person. നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെയൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള ആലോചനകൾ ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് തന്നെയാണ് അത് നന്നായിട്ട് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക. പക്ഷേ മിക്കപ്പോഴും എനിക്ക് സംശയം ഉണ്ടാവാറുണ്ട്, ഞാൻ എഴുതിയാൽ അത് റൈറ്റിംഗ് എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഏരിയയിൽ, ബിക്കോസ് ഐ എം നോട്ട് that person to write, but I take freedom to write that because I don't want to lose the charm. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അൺഫോർച്ചുനേറ്റ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചത് കുറച്ചുകൂടി I just want to make it clear that I'm not എന്താ പറയുക ഇൻജസ്റ്റിസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതല്ലെന്ന് പറയാനാണ്.
No, Otto injustice alla. In fact, I think if you write all your head, I think you are a far better copywriter than most writers. They communicate so well. So actually, I thought you have a copy partner, or it works that way. So this is remarkable that you do all of it.
പക്ഷെ ഇതെല്ലാവർക്കും ഇതെന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് എഴുതാൻ പറ്റാത്തല്ല. നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ഒരു റൈറ്റർ വേണം ഒരു കാര്യം എഴുതാനുള്ളൊരു ഒരു ഐഡിയ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ് ബിക്കോസ് ലൈൻസ് ഈസ് ഓൾവേസ് തോട്ട് പ്രോസസ്. നമ്മുടെ തോട്ട് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ ലൈൻ. അതൊന്ന് ക്രാഫ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളൊരു കാര്യം മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇപ്പൊ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടേണ്ട എന്നുള്ളത് വേറൊരു ലാംഗ്വേജിൽ നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇറ്റ് വിൽ നെവർ ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് ബ്യൂട്ടി. അത് സഭ്യമായ ബെറ്റർ ആയിട്ട് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് എങ്കിൽ പോലും ഡസൻ ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് ബ്യൂട്ടി. ലവ് എ ലിറ്റിൽ ലെസ് ഹാർഡ് ഈസ് സ്വീറ്റ് ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഡസൻ ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് ക്വക്കിനെസ് ലൈക്ക് കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെടേണ്ട.
Latheesh, if people want to see more of your work, what should they do?
We can do another, we'll have to, I don't know, I can always come on a presentation. I can.
No, you're on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's there. But I didn't put all my works, but yeah.
But
there are few.
Out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at 1:58. So we usually sort of close at 2. So if anyone has any more questions, please pop in. But at this point, more than anything else, I want to tell Azhar, you did it. You survived. Well done. So you see, you can do it.
Yeah, but
Very nice. Yeah, not kashtapattu. It was done very well. We all
കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടില്ല, എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു.
പക്ഷെ അത് ഞങ്ങള് അതിന്റെ മുമ്പ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കുറച്ച് ഇന്ററാക്ഷൻ കിട്ടിയതും അതിന്റെ ആ ഒരു ഇതില് ഇത്രയും കൂടി ഈസി ആയി എനിക്ക് ആക്ച്വലി.
Right. Just before we close, there is a question from Anirban Mukherjee. The question, Latheesh, is: hello sir, you talk about the idea of adding quirkiness into the designs that you did, which again brings in a naive kind of character into the design for somebody who, say, starting out in branding and packaging. What is one tip you think is foremost to explore the field, or say place my own quirkiness into one? Also, does every design that you did over the years gone through a long research process? If so, how did you tackle them along with deadlines? So that's 2.5 questions.
Yeah.
So
I can quickly answer, not completely, but
go for it.
The thing is, the design, the quirkiness come from our own behavior. You cannot ideate quirkiness. It will not look right. So whatever I do as a design practice is an extension of my nature. I try to find quirkiness because I have that. I always search for that. And to make it look good, the first thing is to have a very strong communication with the client, because we are trying to solve a problem. Once you understand the nature of the brand exactly like the client knows, then it's something like that's the best thing you can do, because you will never go wrong. First you will have to make the the product or service is your own thing. Then how to explain. Then you can be witty, you can explain it beautifully, you can be cocky. The choice is yours. And being honest with the design is the best thing. I mean, not to make it look good for the sake of making it look good. Don't just add graphics and typographies and unnecessary lines to make it look good, because you don't really need it. So I mean, that's my practice, and that's how I see things. The more you have a connection with the client, the best you can offer. The cokiness or witty kind of thing is just you can if you're a quirky person, of course your design will come as quirky. This is as simple as that.
Fantastic. Thank you, Latheesh. On that note, we are at 2:02. So thank you everybody who logged in. We are not professionals at this game of running these sessions, so there might have been tiny blips here and there. Thank you for indulging us. Thank you so much, Latheesh, for sharing your time. I know you're a very busy guy. As I said, Azhar, well done. We are locking you in for the rest of the season. Vanessa, you made this happen. You're in guerrilla mode. You're invisible, but you're the sort of invisible hands behind all of this. Yes. And thank you, Anshu, for keeping the session from crashing down, which it would certainly have done if we were doing it. Thank you, everybody. This was wonderful. There is the last session in the first series of 6 binoculars, which we'll announce on Instagram. We are ADI Cochin on Instagram. Please follow us if you're not. There would be another interesting creative person who will come in that session. So please log in. People in Cochin who are designers who would like to be part of the community, reach out, be part of it, make the magic happen. And that's from us for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arun. Thank you, ADI, and thank you, everyone.
Bye.